Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I wanted to do a walkthrough or like a review of this Divine Feminine Oracle deck that I've actually had for a bit. I believe I got it in like 2023, and I just wanted to do, like I mentioned, a walkthrough of it because the thing is, I actually have so many decks, both tarot and oracle, but it kind of sucks that you don't get to see the full picture of the deck, right? Because when I do my readings, I only pick a handful of cards from each given deck, right? And I feel like every deck deserves to be seen in the entirety of its, being. Like it deserves to be seen in every way. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and pick the cards from this deck, all of them. I'm gonna go through all of them, okay? And I feel like I might be doing more videos like this, especially with oracle decks, because there are so many affirmations, like beautiful imagery, symbolism, that are embedded within these decks. And I just feel like, like I mentioned, they deserve to be seen and appreciated in their entirety, okay? So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and pick the cards here. Maybe for some of them, I will also look up the definition, okay? But yeah, as you can tell, it comes with this guidebook, okay? The creator of this deck is Megan Watterson. Yeah, you can just take a screenshot or pause it and like read this if you want. Yeah, but I really like her artwork, imagery. The deck is kind of thick. I feel like, it goes kind of like deep into each of the cards here. And I definitely will review at least one of the cards so I can show you the layout of the explanations, because I feel like that's also really important when it comes to like, deck creation, like if you decide to have like a guidebook. So yeah, okay. Let's go through each of the cards here. So the first card we have here is Akilanda, the goddess of never not broken. Everything happens for my liberation. I choose to become only more love. So beautiful. Yeah, the cool thing about this deck is that it features the feminine, the divine feminine from a variety of like faiths and religions and cultures and backgrounds, which I really, really like. Honestly, with the next deck that I'm making, I'm going to try to do that as well, because I'm all for inclusivity. I also just got this idea of creating like a deck that has to do with all the, like goddesses, maybe even gods, of like the different, like I mentioned, like cultures and different philosophies, like Greek mythology, Hindu mythology, even there's like some cool prophets in the Christianity. Actually, that's what this deck has too. Like it actually has some of the characters from like the different like religions, like even the Abrahamic faith. So again, I just love the inclusivity of like everyone here. Like there's like Buddhism, there's Hinduism, there's as many like I know there's like more religions than that. Those are just like the main ones we hear about all the time. But yeah, anyways, I'm sorry if I mispronounced her name. Fatima, the mother of imams. Love is my lineage and gratitude is my religion. Yeah, love it, love it. Yeah, I really like the imagery. I feel like it's kind of like, I don't know how to describe it, but like shadowy. It's almost like, it's not like, I don't know, like some decks, it looks very like it's just like imprinted onto the 3D. It looks very like, I'm trying to like think of the words to explain it, but I feel like this is a little bit more like visceral, a little bit more like flowy. Like, you can see in the designs here that there's like shadows, there's different portrayals of light, and it's almost like it's see-through. It sort of reminds me of like a wave, like, that for some of you, you may know this, some of you may not, but like the whole wave particle duality, like particles are, like solid matter imprinted into the 3D. Waves are kind of just like, they can be malleable, they can change. Yeah, so that's just the kind of feeling that I get when using this deck. Like, and I kind of like it. It's really empowering, because it's like, with every message, every time you do a reading, whether with oracle cards, tarot cards, really any form of divination, the important thing to remember is that nothing is necessarily set in stone. I mean, unless you want it to be, but like, let's say you hear something like critical or negative or something, like it's like, no, that can be changed. This is just a reflection of your current energy. This is just where your current energy lies. So that's the sort of impression I get when using this deck to do readings, okay? I feel like that's the way with like everything. That's just like my perspective on divination tools. But yeah, yeah. Also, there's a lot of like reds, oranges, and yellows, which, you can even see that on the cover here, which are kind of like the warm colors, right? And then like the green, blue, purple, those are like the cooler colors. It's interesting because if you guys know about the chakra system, like the root, sacral chakra are red and orange respectively. The solar plexus is yellow. So this could have something to do with like the bottom chakras, which by the way, there's nothing wrong with the bottom chakras. In fact, you kind of need to like, stay rooted and grounded before you elevate to those higher chakras, because something that like, some people do is like, they'll invoke their crown chakra and like their third eye, but then they're not like rooted or grounded, and that can lead to like, like psychosis and things like that, right? Like I don't really talk about that too much on my channel. I feel like I'm more of just like, okay, I see these cards, I interpret it as something, and it's your choice to resonate with it or not. But like, yeah, I'm just getting like, even on the color spectrum, like those are like the warmer colors. I'm thinking of like spices. Like I don't know why, like it's just obviously it's like the divine feminine energy, so it's like yeah, that's just like the impression I get when like using this deck. It's almost like I can like even like smell spices. It's crazy, because I made some tea like literally a couple hours ago, and I just randomly like smelled like cardamom, because I use that in my teas a lot. Yeah, but anyways, okay, I'm going way off route, but yeah, we have here the Black Madonna, Our Lady of the Hermits. I transform pain and suffering into a greater capacity to love. I love how this one actually has multiple figures here. I think this is maybe one of the only cards in the deck that has that. I'm not 100% sure, but I love this. Like, I mean, literally these messages are timeless, universal, and they can be applied to anyone, not necessarily just the feminine. I feel like even the masculine can learn from this, or whatever other energies. Okay, like I'm just saying the feminine because it's literally called the divine feminine, but I just feel like the message here is like universal, timeless, and universally like applicable, so yeah, we also have here Yamoha. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce her name. The goddess of all that flows. I'm an ocean of creative energy. I give birth to what exists within me. Oh my gosh, I love this, because this reminds me of manifestation. Like everything already exists within you, but like, what you're aware of is what you're bringing into your 3D reality. Love the water energy we have going on here. I love the, like, again, like the, for lack of better, like diversity of the deck, like not just in terms of like, people from different backgrounds, but there's like, some water energy, some of them have like, like fire energy, like you can see the different elements, wisdom embedded within the cards. And yeah, you can see there's like a red like just energy like bursting from her like center, and yeah, you can see the light. This gives me like crown chakra vibes, but yeah, just I'm looking at like the light, the portrayal of light in this deck, and it's just so interesting. I feel like I don't really have like the best eye for these things. I'm not gonna lie, like I majored in like computer science, and like I feel like I grew up kind of being more analytical and like less artistic. So if like any of you, you took classes in like art, photography, like, creative arts or anything like that, like please feel free to share your insights in the comments. Tell me what you notice about the symbolism, the art, if you see any sort of like recurring motifs and themes, okay? Because I feel like I try to keep an eye out for these, but I didn't like grow up necessarily like learning about that too much. Like, I would like read books, and like, the literature teachers would like, talk about like, oh, like what like recurring motif, what symbolism do you see, and I'd kind of just like write down whatever. But like now, like looking back, I was like, wait, this stuff is like actually so interesting. Like I wish I kind of took it a little bit more seriously back then. And yeah, but like it's, yeah, I don't know, I feel like the perfect sort of way to go about doing life is to balance like both hemispheres of the brain. Like I don't think it's completely wrong to be analytical and logical minded, but like I think also utilizing more of our right brain is great too, which is what I feel like this oracle deck really helps me do, and like just divination in general. But yeah, I believe like the divine feminine rules the like yin energies, right? Like the right brain, the creative, and then the masculine, the left energies. Again, this doesn't necessarily just apply to gender, it's just like the name of the different energies, right? Some people will say feminine, masculine, some people will say polarity, some people will say yin and yang. I know different cultures have different ways of describing it. Yeah, we have your Amaterasu, the goddess of light. We're all sacred mirrors reflecting back the same light. Oh my gosh, this totally applies to those of you that, believe in like law of assumption, manifestation, right? Like we're all like the same energy. We're all part of this universal consciousness. We're all just like, each other pushed out. We're all reflecting back the same light. The universe is a mirror, okay? Yeah, we have your Ariadne. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name again. Mistress of the Labyrinth. My soul knows the way, and the only way out is through. This is actually really interesting. I don't know why I feel like inclined to like pick up the deck and see what it says about this, because I actually don't know what the labyrinth means. Like, I mean, I know it's kind of like a maze, and yeah, this reminds me of that movie with David Bowie, like The Labyrinth. I just randomly watched that in middle school, honestly. Like, I feel like Yeah, a lot of these movies have such like deep messages, but I feel like when I was like watching it, like I was like, oh, this is just entertainment. But like now, like that I'm looking at it with like my adult brain and like just the spiritual development journey, the path that I'm on, everything's just so different. Like I'll rewatch movies that I like saw in my childhood or like earlier on, and I'm like, wait, I see this through a completely different light. And I know if I revisit it in like X years, I'm definitely gonna have a different perspective because we're all growing and learning. Yeah, so let's see what the cards have to say. Let me just show you, or let's see what the guidebook has to say. Yeah, I believe it's by alphabetical order, which is cool. So, Ariadne 186. I mean, I've seen this name a lot. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Okay, no, actually, so the table of contents is in alphabetical order, but not necessarily the actual pages. So Ariadne is 186. Okay, I feel like that's how table of contents are always like. It's been a while since I read a book with the table of contents. So yeah, sorry if that was like the obvious. Sometimes I like state the obvious, but sometimes you can let it serve as like a reminder. Sometimes I have to like repeat things for me to like really understand it. I feel like that's how I learn. But anyways, okay, so wait, no, why did I? Okay, wait, did I forget how to read numbers? Like, okay, let me go back and look her up. Yeah, wait, it says Ariane 186. I thought I did go to 186. Or was that 168? No. 186. There we go. Yeah, okay, no, I think I went to a different number. Oh my gosh. Okay. Mistress of the Labyrinth, my soul knows the way and the only way out is through. So the guidebook talks about who she is, and then when your soul selects her card, like what does that mean? And then, there's a soul voice meditation, and then also like, that's like the intention. But yeah, let's read the messages on this, or the energy of this card. Okay, so Ariadne represents the love and support available to us when we dare to be courageous. Ariadne is known as being both a Greek goddess and the human daughter of Minos, king of Crete. Her father put her in charge of the labyrinth, where 7 human sacrifices were made every 7 years to appease the Minotaur who lived within it. Oh, that's what the labyrinth is. The Minotaur had the head of a bull and the body of a man. Okay, that's crazy because I'm a Taurus. I was like, maybe that's why I wanted to stop and, read what she represented. I didn't know this at all, by the way. He preyed on those who got lost in the dark. One year, a valiant and heroic man named Theseus went into the labyrinth to slay the Minotaur and end the sacrifices. Ariadne fell madly in love with him and gave him a sword to kill the Minotaur and a ball of red thread so that he could find his way back out of the labyrinth and into the light. Ancient Greek myths were oral, so there are varying accounts of Theseus and Ariadne eloping after success, or others where Ariadne's consort, Dionysus, the Greek god of ritual, madness, and religious ecstasy, chases after her and pleads with her to return to him. Whichever way the story ends, the constant is that Ariadne's love and support changed the fate of so many who would have otherwise feel so lost to the labyrinth. Oh, I love this so much. Yes, you can call upon her for love and support, especially when you're feeling lost. Like I channeled like maze energy. Maybe you have no idea like where to go next, or sometimes we even lose like sense of like what the like bigger picture is, like what's the goal. So yeah, for some, I'm like thinking of like the Matrix. I know some of you are into like that whole Matrix ideology, right? Like, gotta escape the Matrix and make our own like way to like support ourselves and things like that, right? So I mean, that's just another message that came up. When your soul selects her card, Ariadne is a symbol of the hope, the divine assistance, and the step-by-step process we can take to move through a difficult time or to confront an injustice in our life. She helps Theseus because he's daring to end a pattern of madness. Okay, I love this. Yeah, ending some sort of pattern. I love this. Or for me, like, it's also I think of breaking ancestral patterns, or like like negative things, right? Like to heal the bloodline. I know some people call them like curses, like you know, transcending like intergenerational trauma, like, you know, things like that. So, but breaking some sort of pattern, or maybe if not like ancestors, maybe a pattern in your own life, like breaking the pattern of attracting certain types of people or opportunities into your life, certain types of lovers, things like that, right? Like a lot of these messages are applicable to like our everyday life things. You know, back in the day there would be like a lot of like wars and things like that, and I mean, yeah, unfortunately that still exists today, but like, you know, yeah, this is applicable. This is what I mean when I said this deck is like universal. I feel like no matter what time period you're in, what you're going through, I feel like you know, these messages can really help anyone who needs them. Yeah, so he's willing to do whatever needs to be done to stop the injustice. She gives him the tools to create his desired outcome. He is successful because of her, and she assists him because he acts with courage. Ooh, I love this, like the divine feminine helping the masculine. And also these could be representative of energies within ourselves. Like sometimes when you're operating too much from like one part of the brain, you gotta like equalize it out. No, I don't know if that's a word, but like balance it out. Yeah, you know, so it's like kind of receiving divine assistance from yourself, from your higher self, from other parts of you, from, you know, another like part of your psyche or subconscious mind. So yeah, she gives him the tools to create his desired outcomes. So, I mean, this reminds me of like, you know, you have the tools within, but you can also ask for divine assistance. You can ask for help, you know, and the universe will give you signs, messages, you know, that will lead you to solutions and breakthroughs, okay? Divine assistance and guidance is everywhere. It's just a matter of you being aware of it and asking for it. I know some people think like everything is spiritual and everything is this, that. I mean, honestly, to each their own. As long as you're being a good person, you can have whatever ideology you want. I don't think like, you know, if you're someone who believes in like angel numbers or you know, symbols, that like you're crazy or anything. Like, no, like that's okay. Like you just have a different way of perceiving reality. Honestly, I think that's kind of fun. It's almost like reality is kind of like a scavenger hunt. Like, you know, you're looking for all these signs and symbols and you're paying attention. Like, you know how like growing up we played these like video games where we had to like collect like, you know, coins or collect certain things on our way, or maybe you've even heard of like geocaching or something, like, you know. Yeah, so nothing wrong with like invoking your spirituality to make life a little bit more fun and encouraging. Her message is that our courage is always in some way rewarded. When we seek to end an unnecessary pattern or routine that is no longer serving us, even though we initially created it in the effort to keep us safe, it can feel as insurmountable as facing a horned part man, part beast that lives in a dark maze inside us, pure terror. But the soul always wants our freedom. The divine is what liberates, not confines. Oh my gosh, yeah, like this totally applies. Okay, even yeah, you know, like certain things, like when you're trying to break out of that pattern again, like, you know, some people will refer to this as like the spirits, the devil, like, you know, things like that trying to tempt you, right? So it's like maybe you're trying to think positively, but then like you start spiraling, or you're trying to achieve the certain goal, trying to be disciplined, but then like, you know, you kind of just fall off course or whatever, right? Like people have different ways of explaining that. Like different cultures will have different ways of explaining that. Like, you know, in the context of this card, it's like, you know, the that half bull half man character in the maze, right? So yeah, that's like a metaphor of something within us that lives within us, right? Sometimes it could even be parasites. I don't know if you guys have looked into like fasting. I know some cultures have that, religions have that. So it's like even like just from a scientific, like biological perspective, right? Like there's like the gut brain connection, and we have parasites in our gut actually. So it's like when you fast, if you feel tempted to break that fast, right, like you're maybe, let's say you're only trying to eat like healthy foods or vegetarian foods, or only like, you know, fruits and like vegetables, but like you crave like chips, you crave processed food, it's like, you know, the parasites within us, those are the ones that are saying like, hey, we want this, like, you know, it's an addiction at that point. Like some people are literally addicted to like sugar or like, you know, like processed foods, like, you know, they make it so that you get addicted and like, you know, like don't seek healthier foods or whatever, you know, or that's just one way of viewing reality. But yeah, hopefully you know what I mean. And like, you know, in like certain texts, certain cultural texts, they'll say things like, oh, you know, the parasites are the demons, right? So when people say things like demons, like it could mean like, you know, certain like physical things in our body. Sometimes it may not even mean like an external demon or anything, like, you know, not like a physical monster that's gonna like attack you or anything, but just something within you, right? So yeah. And then it says here, it might feel like we can't find our way out of the situation, this maze, but we can trust the soul knows the way through, and that spiritual support is a given. Ariadne wants us to be brave so that she can fall in love with our actions. She is both a goddess and a human. She gets our fear, but she also knows just how much power we hold as well. I love that. That's so beautiful and empowering. Soul voice meditation. What allows me to feel supported while doing the inner work? intention. My soul knows the way, and the only way out is through. So what makes you feel supported when doing the inner work? Let's say you are like, fasting or trying to like maintain some sort of discipline. What helps you get through that? For different people, it's going to be different thing. I know like this is just an example, but for example, Christians, they'll say like, oh, Jesus helped me with that. I know like in Islam, like Allah, right? In Hinduism, there's like, many different like gods and goddesses, which, like I'm Hindu, so I can just explain that it's like different parts of our consciousness, our psyche, but like for different things, like we'll pray to different gods, which it's actually just invoking that energy within us, right? So a lot of people in Hinduism, when they want physical like prosperity, wealth, abundance, like material realm things, right, they'll pray to Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth, prosperity, and abundance. They'll even do these things like leave the door open for her to come in and bless the family and things like that, right? But it's really just invoking those energies within us that align us to be to think that way, so we can attract that. And like there's even science behind this, right? Like the reticular activating system, when you focus on wealth, prosperity, abundance, you're going to be aware of opportunities that will help you achieve that wealth, prosperity, abundance. Maybe it'll help clear out all the things that you don't necessarily need to get on that path. That's just one example, right? So it's like let's say you're doing something or trying to achieve a goal. What's helping you achieve that goal? For some people, it's even like, maybe it's not necessarily religious at all, but it's like the big picture things. Okay, something that makes me feel supported is the bigger picture, the end goal. Or for some people, it's the journey. Like, people have different ways of attaining things. I don't necessarily think like everyone needs to think the same way, like they don't, right? But I mean, I like the whole thing about like the journey is the destination, like being mindful of every step of the way in the journey. I feel like that is what this card like talks about, because actually here's the thing, because like I feel like maybe when you focus on just like the end goal, and like you're not like seeing like results or whatever, then that can discourage you. So like maybe looking for signs, like what supports me through the inner work, like symbolism, just like being aware of things around me, being mindful, being conscious of everything that you're doing, everything that you're consuming, everything that you're being aware of, right? Again, all these people will have different things. For some people, it's like the strength of familial love, the strength of their ancestors. Oh, my ancestors helped me get through this, or my higher self helped me get through this, my higher consciousness helped me get through this, yeah, these are just like examples. But anyways, yeah, let's go ahead and pick the rest of the cards. I cannot believe I spent like 21 minutes explaining all this. This is what happens with me, you guys. Like I'll start like doing something and my mind will just like come up with all these spiritual downloads, or I'll receive all these spiritual downloads that I feel like need to be shared. Okay, yeah. Ooh, so we have here Kali. I, for whatever reason, have really been resonating with her energy recently. I release all that doesn't serve me. It's time to be the truth of who I am, the mother of the universe. She's the person who banishes away all evil. I know she looks scary, but it's like it's kind of like the whole thing about the snake in Dubai Bling. It's like Safa, like one of the characters, she's all like, oh, I like having snake jewelry to like ward off all the snakes. And it's crazy because I was like reading this book about Jahanara, like she was like the Mughal princess in India. And I mean, this book was just like about her like life, and like she was talking about how her grandmother, like I think she literally like she didn't like her grandma for whatever reason, her step grandmother, because she would like always get dreams about her, and she appeared as like a snake, and apparently like she thinks that like, oh, people have tried to poison her. Noor Mahal, a lot of people tried to poison her, but she just like would not like demise or whatever, like she would like still be there, and that's because like she actually thinks like she was fed drops of venom to like ward off any sort of evil or poison. It's like, the mask that we have to like ward off evil or poison. Sometimes it's like, if you want to scare away spirits, like, what are you going to, like, what energies are you going to invoke within you to scare away, those spirits, or just keep them out, like, for me, this is like strength. Kali really represents strength. Going back to that whole metaphor of like, fasting and parasites, it's like, the parasites will be like, hey, like, let's get that food, let's eat that junk food, let's, like maybe you're trying to like diet or whatever, oh, let's eat that, cupcake or whatever. It's like, how are you going to harness that inner power and strength to, not do that and stay loyal to your end goal, right? So like Kali will like really give you the strength to get through any sort of obstacles, temptations, things like that. Also, she is also known as like the protector of like, women, like, definitely she has like feminine energy that like, like invokes, like that women can use honestly, anyone can like worship her. In Hinduism, like I'm Hindu, and I'm telling you, anyone can worship her as long as you're respectful of the religion and you give like, you know, credit where it's due. Anyone can like invoke the energy of her, you know, within them. So yeah, Parvati, the goddess of devotion. I am a love that doesn't leave. When I commit to love, my soul evolves. I love this so much. Yeah. When I commit to love, my soul evolves. Yeah, and so the answer really is love. Maybe love for yourself, love for your higher self, love for humanity, love for people. Okay, yeah. We also have here Inanna. Ooh, for some reason I rarely draw her. I think this is one of my first. No, I've definitely seen her before, but yeah, yeah. The Queen of Heaven and Earth. I have nothing to hide. I see and accept all that I am. I love that. Full self acceptance. Okay, because you deserve to have whatever you want just because you exist, just because like, you know, you're there. You deserve to be loved just as you are. You deserve to be accepted just as you are. You don't need to change for anything or anyone. Lala, the saint of spoken words. Every word I say becomes a prayer. I am the author of my own story. It's so powerful. Manifestation, right? Like I am the conscious creator of my reality. Mary of Nazareth, the mother of God. I am blessed. My courage gives birth to the divine. I love this so much. Okay, yeah, I am blessed. My courage gives birth to the divine. I always think of this as like birthing new realities, like new portals, new ways of thinking, new ways of being, right? Like a lot of the times in like the stories that you see in a lot of religious texts, it's like, yeah, it could be like, you know, like that did happen, but whenever I see like birth, I just think new portal, new ways of being, new ways of thinking, new perceptions, new timelines, okay, higher timelines even. Yeah, we have here Bridget, the goddess of the eternal flame. I am an eternal flame, and each day my light grows brighter. I love this. Each day my light grows brighter. You are a flame that cannot be extinguished, okay? You are strong no matter what reality shows, or, you know, shows you or throws at you. You will always burn bright. This also reminds me of something that I recently read about how you should imprint your own energy onto certain things, onto like the realm, right? Imprint your own energy into like the 3D realm, like just any realm. But when you express yourself, when you create, when you write down things, when you script things, you're creating your own reality. Okay, and this also reminds me of another quote that we should focus on building the new rather than fighting the old. So it's like, let's say all these chaotic things are going around you, you know, like physical things, like people, certain types of people in power, this, that. How are you filling your own cup? What are you doing to strengthen your own belief in yourself and your morals, values, ideals, principles, right? Because you can only fight so much. You can only try to convince other people so much, but it's about like, what are you doing to help, you know, your community, people like you, things like that, you know? It's like, you gotta like be very careful of how you're using your energy. Again, you can use the energy to fight the old, but why not use that to create the new? See everything as an opportunity for you to grow brighter, for you to ascend, you know, transcend these limiting beliefs, obstacles, for you to just strengthen your faith in yourself, love, everything that you are, okay? We also have here Tekla, I'm sorry. Yeah, the prophetess of true power. I call my power back from all times and all places. I am my own. I love this. I call my power back. I call my energy back. Oh my gosh, whenever you are feeling drained, say this. I promise you it will change your life. I call my power back. I call my energy back. Especially maybe when you're thinking too much about how someone wronged you, or maybe they didn't, like, you know, do you right, or you wish they did more, or they did something that really triggered you. I call my power back. Stop giving so much of your energy to them or to that version of them that you created in your mind, because that's really what it is. Like, let's say you're trying to manifest a new reality, you're trying to manifest like love, you're trying to manifest abundance, a good, you know, job opportunity, career growth, but then you have all these like perceptions like, oh, men suck, society sucks, they're all like this. Then you are fueling that perception in your head. Like, you are fueling that reality by the thoughts that you are you know, thinking, right? So you got to call back your power, call back your energy. That's a different timeline. Like, you know, whatever happened in middle school, high school, when like you were hurt, you were bullied, whatever, call your energy back, call your power back. You no longer need to identify as that person, okay? You know, you don't need to identify with your insecurities. You don't need to identify with any sort of like, you know, pain that you felt, okay? And everyone comes to their own realization when it comes to this kind of, you know, frame of thought. So that's why, like, you know, I don't want to like tell people what to do. At the end of the day, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. But what I've learned is that sometimes when I'm in pain, I will express it. I will say things. I will cry it out. I will feel all the feelings and emotions. But then I'm just like, you know what? Like, I don't want to feel this way forever. I got it out of my system. Now I'm reclaiming my power. I'm reclaiming my energy. Sometimes I have been a victim, and it's okay to say that, yeah, you know, we were a victim. But my personal ideology is that you don't need to perpetually stay in that victim mindset, okay? Again, that's not to say, like, you know, don't, like, feel anything. Like, some people, they don't. Some people are just like, you know what, screw it. I refuse to be a victim. I'm not going to let this hurt me at all. Some people, they kind of need to, like, you know, feel the feelings, write it out, express it in some way, shape, or form, and then they'll be like, you know what, like, now I'm going to reclaim my power. I got that out of my system. I choose to see life through the lens of an abundance mindset. So to each their own. You do whatever feels most comfortable for you. For me, I refuse to, like, subscribe to a perpetual victim mindset. I feel like whatever rights, whatever opportunities I do have, I'm going to make the most of those, and I feel like that will sort of overcome or transcend any sort of limitations. It will overcome any sort of circumstances. That's just the way that I think now, and it took me some time to get there, you know, like, this is not something that I just, like, you know, off the bat, like, I realized, like, I feel like people would tell me this, but then I just kind of didn't resonate with it, like, at the time, because, you know, everyone has their own, like, everyone's on their own journey. For some people, healing is, like, you know, not linear at all. For some people, like, they just get through things pretty fast, you know. It's different for different people. Everyone has a different, like, way of understanding things, perceiving life. They have, like, a different emotional response to things, different backgrounds, different things that they were told, right? So everyone is different. That's why, like, even like, therapy and, you know, all those things, while they're very helpful, it's really important to figure out, like, it's not like a one size fits all. Like, some people will benefit from talk therapy. Some people will benefit from, like, different types, you know, or even different types of, like, philosophical ideologies, things like that, right? So that's why I always say on my channel, take what resonates and leave what doesn't, because the truth is, you may or may not resonate with everything you hear. I know I've definitely heard things where I'm like, okay, there is wisdom in that, and I accept that, but I'm not 100% sure that it's relevant to my personal path that I'm taking in life right now, or, you know, the things that I'm trying to, like, you know, manifest, right? But it's like, I'm someone who appreciates the wisdom of everything. Yeah, we also have here, Machig Labdron. I see some of these cards, I'm just like, I don't even remember, like, seeing these, which is why I'm happy I'm doing kind of like a you know, a talk through of every single card in the deck. The Diamond Hearted Dakini. I see the light in my own darkness. I face my ego beliefs to feel free. Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, sometimes, like, you know, it's about, like, facing your ego too. Like, it's not about, like, completely dissolving it. Sometimes, you know, ego can be, like, a good thing to an extent, right? But, like, again, this is just my own perception. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Some people are all about transcending the ego. Some people are about utilizing the ego. Some people mix of both. You know, everyone has different perceptions, and the divine truth is that everyone's right in their own way. Like, that's the thing. That's even what we believe in Hinduism. Like we have our own gods, like, yes, but you know, to Christians, like, they have their own god, and, like, they're right in their own way, you know. Like, everyone is right in their own way. Like, witchcraft, like, yeah, they believe in, like, you know, certain rituals that'll help them. Like, you know, scientists, they believe in, like, you know, the placebo effect or whatever. Everyone is right in their own way. And it's, yeah, we should never, like, criticize anyone for their beliefs, you know, as long as, like, of course, there's a difference between using beliefs to, like, hurt people and using beliefs to just empower yourself, right? So my thing is, like, I think religion's great when it's not, like, you know, being used to hurt anyone else. But, like, yeah, me personally, I relate to all the, like, the mysticism, the spiritual parts of the religion. I looked into, like, every religion. Like, I looked into, like, you know, Christianity. Like, I think some of the Bible verses are great. I looked into, like, even the Kabbalah. I think the sacred geometry is, like, you know, pretty cool. Yeah, I think there's a lot of math there. I looked into Islam. Like, I actually, you know, got to visit, like, a mosque in some of the countries that I've been to, and, like, you know, even some of the Quran verses. Like, I feel like there's a bunch that relate to, like, manifestation, like dua and qadr. I looked into, like, Buddhism. Actually, I have people in my family that actively practice that. I've been to, like, a tea ceremony. Of course, Hinduism, I've been to a temple. Like, you know, like, even, like, paganism, things like that, right? Like, none of them are inherently evil. Like, even, like, witchcraft, I know people will hear that word and they'll be like, oh my gosh, that's evil. So it's actually neutral. It's the way that it's being used. Like, if you're using witchcraft to, like, you know, hex people, curse people for a bad reason, right, then that's bad. But then if you're using it to, like, just heal yourself, heal your body, because, you know, pagans, they like using, like, rituals and herbs, like, you know, like, things from the nature to, like, you know, as healing, as medicine, you know, things like that, right? So yeah, that's something I want to put out there. Yeah, I see the light in my own darkness. I face my ego beliefs to feel free. Okay, I feel like I went way off course when trying to explain this card, but, like, yeah, yeah, I mean, I feel like this is pretty self-explanatory. I see the light in my own darkness. There is always light, no matter what. Light is everywhere. You just have to. It's about your perception, you know, right? Like there's like light at the end of the tunnel. It's not going to be dark forever, right? Yeah. So we have here my Bago, the warrior saint. I'm a warrior of love. My devotion attracts resources and support. I love this. My devotion attracts resources and support. Okay, again, I relate everything to manifestation, specifically like, you know, the law of assumption. It's like thinking and neuroscience and things like that, right? Like, so my devotion attracts resources and support. So when you stay devoted and committed to that reality that you want, the thing that you're trying to manifest, your reticular activating system is going to attract resources that will help you reach your goal, that will help you like further your, or, you know, amplify or accelerate your manifestations. Okay, so yeah. And I also love this. I'm a warrior of love. I love this. If there's anything to like, you know, fight for, it's love. It's becoming more love, things like that, you know. Hestia, the goddess of sanctuary. No matter where I am home. The most sacred sanctuary is found within me. I love this because I feel like this deck is really about invoking that energy and power within you, but it's like all of these goddesses are kind of like saying similar things or similar-esque things, but like in a different way, in a different font. Even something I've noticed is that there's a lot of parallels between religion, especially when it comes to the concept of manifestation. Like every religion to some extent does talk about it, but they just have different ways of explaining their stories to get there. They have different ways of like, you know, stating it, right? Like I feel like in a lot of the you know, like, or some of the Bible verses that I've read, like, you know, they talk about the birth of this, the birth of that, like, you know, I think of it as like birth of new reality, right? So that's just like one example, but I love this. Everything is found within you, so it's invoking that inner power within you, the higher powers within you, even different aspects of your psyche. Okay, like you do have everything you could ever need to get to where you are, and like yes, you will attract like external things to help you too, right? It's not like you just like go inwards and you don't interact with people. Like, I mean, yeah, like I mean, there's some people who do like silent meditations and silent retreats and things like that. They kind of fast from like the outside world, right? But it's like when you go within, you will see whatever you want to see in your reality. For some people, like right now, they're just manifesting inner peace and happiness. Some people have material goals. Some people want to manifest abundance, you know. Again, I think everyone is valid in what they're manifesting and what they believe in, as long as you're not hurting other people. That's why like on this channel, you notice spiritual channel, I do talk about manifesting abundance, because here's the thing, our souls chose the 3D. It's not wrong to want to experience good things in the 3D. It's not wrong to want to experience a great love. It's not wrong to want to like, you know, live well, do well for yourself, be financially stable. Okay, my only thing is like I always say for the good of all and harm to none, because I want to do things in the most ethical way possible, where I'm not like, you know, like running over other people to get what I want. That's just like, you know, my own thing. Like I want to be able to enjoy my life, but like also I want to be conscious of like, you know, certain things. Maybe I'll like not use certain things if I feel like it's a pollutant to the environment, you know, things like that, right? So yeah. We also have here Shekinah, the presence of the divine feminine. At the center of everything, there's light, and I am that light. I love this. At the center of everything, there is light, and I am that light. Okay, so yeah, it's you. It's you. It's always been you. This reminds me of that like Lana Del Rey song, but except she says it's you. It's you. It's all for you. Everything I do. But imagine you're saying that to yourself, you know? Yeah. So we also have your white buffalo calf woman, the prophetess of the sacred way. My heart is a compass. The path of love is true abundance. I love this. So beautiful, so powerful. Okay, my heart is the compass. That is so true. Your inner soul is the compass. Everything. Yeah, this just reminds me of like the treks that like, you know, Native Americans, or that, yeah, just the indigenous people. I'm sorry if I use like wrong terminology. Like, please correct me. Honestly, like, yeah, sometimes I will need to be corrected, but yeah, the indigenous, you know, were really in tune with the nature. I honestly, I feel like all of our ancestors were, right? Like before all this like technology and things like that, like we were really in tune with nature. Even like harvest, like, you know, they would follow like the moon cycles. I went to Panama a couple years ago, and I got to like see the indigenous community and how they lived. They lived in some sort of like remote island, and it was really cool. Like I think he was the chief of the tribe, and he was describing the shaman's like responsibilities and how they were given a test. Like if anyone wanted to be the shaman of like the tribe or whatever, they were given this test, and like the leader, the elders would like tell them like, hey, we're imagining a very, very, very specific place with these very specific like natural attributes. And you know, basically the people who are applying to be shamans, they would like get on their boats, and like paddle to that place, and if like that was the right place, then like they would be the next shaman. Because like again, these people knew the forest like nature like the back of their hand. Like they knew it like inside and out. They're very connected with nature. It's crazy because I went to like Costa Rica, and like the tour guides, like they could spot a snake from like feet away, like 50 plus feet away, like just like from a, honestly, like this is like how bad I am. Like I don't even know what, like, you know, meters, feet, like I have like the worst like compass when it comes to like, you know, distance and things like that. But like let's just say there's a very very tall tree that like you would really have to like look up, like you, like your neck would literally have to like, you know, be tilted to see you know, something on that tree. And like this was like a night tour, and like my tour guide just like he spotted a snake at a very high point in a tree from like literally like let's say a couple blocks away. The best way I can describe it is blocks, because I live in the city, okay? Maybe like 2 to 3 blocks away. I was like, bro, like I sometimes miss things that are right in front of me. So it was just crazy how in tune they are with the nature and, you know, things like that. And apparently they would, there's something about there being more more moonlight. You know, when the like moon is full, there's more light, right? And if there's more light, there was something that would happen with the insects and like the leaves or something. So it's like I feel like they were like yeah, something to do with like how their harvests were just better when the moon was full, because there were more lights, and something about like the insects not like ruining the crops or plants, or like, yeah, I'm sorry guys, like I feel like I should probably like verse myself on this before just saying anything. But if you know what I'm getting at, let me know in the comments below. But yeah, just, you know, being in tune with yourself, being in tune with even like your surroundings. Like I feel like for a lot of you, you have really good intuition. I feel like this card is really about invoking that deep intuition within, you know. We also have your Lilith. Oh my god, her story is, oh my gosh, her story is so interesting. The first woman: I am the voice of my body and soul. I choose the life that I desire to live. Yeah, I mean, from what I know, like, you know, she refused to get under Adam, and she's just like a woman that does not believe in the patriarchy at all. She's like, nope, not for me. I refuse to get under Adam. You know, that's metaphorical for like refusing to do things by like, you know, the male path. It's different, right? Like we have different paths, and we function differently and things like that, right? So I'm the voice of my body and soul. I choose the life that I desire to live. Like she chose her own reality. She said no to societal constructs. You know, she's also just a metaphor of saying no to certain societal constructs that you just don't, like, you know, resonate with. Like, yeah, some people, they want to get married, some people want that life, some people don't, or some people, you know, they want to be able to choose who they want to get married to, not just like, you know, who, like, you know, their parents or family member says, oh, you have to marry this person because of this and this. Like, you know, everyone deserves to have a choice, right? Yeah, Saraswati, oh my gosh, I love her. The goddess of self-knowledge. The essence of who I am flows effortlessly into everything I create. I love this so much. Every time I would take a test, I would pray to her, okay, for like wisdom. She's all about invoking that infinite intelligence within. And yeah, the essence of who I am flows effortlessly into everything I create. Yeah, you know, I created like my own deck. It's on sale. Link in the description box below on my website. Sorry, shameless promo. And I really, really like, I was channeling the memories that, you know, were like memories from my trips, basically. Like, you know, one of my card decks is about, it's like desert themed. There's like desert stuff all around, and that was me invoking the memories of, you know, how I felt when I was in the desert. Like, I love being in the desert. I feel like it's so calm, it's so peaceful. There's not too many distractions from like the external world, so you can just take time to really think and go within and connect with deeper universal truths, and then like invoke that like inner intelligence, infinite wisdom within, you know. And as I was creating that deck, I was like really consciously and mindfully doing that. Like I even had like pictures out of like my trips from the desert to like, you know, base it off of. And yeah, it was just beautiful. Like I feel like when you create art, when you do something with passion and you relate it to something of you that you really like, then that thing will be like beautiful, magical. And every time you use that thing that you created, it's like invoking the magic within you. Like every time I use my own card deck, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like invoking these like energies within me. Like I love all the decks that I have, but I feel like a special connection with my own deck because it's something that I birthed into my reality via my thoughts and intelligence and creative direction, you know. So yeah, yeah, okay. So also, but full transparency, I'm not gonna lie, I used AI. You know, if you are an artist and you, like, you know, I definitely want to commission artists to do that. Like at the time, I didn't really have that much money to like I mean, I had money, but like maybe not enough to like, you know, really commission someone to do that. And I had like a very specific vision that I wanted. Okay. But like in the future, I will definitely be commissioning artists if I want to use like, you know, if I want to make my own decks, because I think that's great. I think online art is great as long as you give credit where it's due. Like even a lot of like artists, they say like, yeah, it's okay to use AI as long as you're not passing it off as your own, because it does like take from a lot of artists and things like that. And obviously that's bad, which is why like, you know, one of the creators that I follow, I believe, I have one of her decks. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I was obsessed with her deck like last summer, and I still am. Like I love her. Alexis Rakin, yeah. She even like she herself creates digital art, and she even says like it's okay if people use AI, but like don't pass it off as like digital art. Say that it's AI. That's why like, you know, I'm just saying that full transparency, honesty. I operate by honesty. Yeah, we also have here Perpetua. Okay, the Saint of Authenticity, you guys. Okay, I know I picked her card, but I was kind of just like loosely like looking at it, because sometimes when I speak, I like look forward, or like I look around, like I don't necessarily always look at the camera. But yeah, authenticity, like be your most authentic self. Like, you know, just like don't lie about things. You don't need to lie about things. Like you're great the way that you are. The Saint of Authenticity, I am my authentic self in all circumstances. Yes, authenticity is like one of the highest frequencies, from what I've heard. Yeah, Teresa of Avila. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I actually visited Avila. It's in Spain. I visited Avila, Toledo, and Segovia. Yeah, okay, yeah. Teresa of Avila, I learned about her on my trip to Avila. I trust the answers I find within me. I know that the presence of love is real. I trust the answers I find within me. I know the presence of love is real. That is so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, I know she had some story of like being there when like Christ was resurrected or something. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's just interesting learning about like the stories, you know. I think like they're really cool. I think they have a lot of like wisdom that we can, you know, gain and apply to our own life. But yeah, yeah, again, everything's about invoking the spirit within you and your inner power and trusting yourself. Okay, yeah, we also have here Khadija, or Khadija. Yeah, the mother of believers. I am spiritually and financially abundant. I provide heaven and earth for myself. Yes, I am spiritually and financially abundant. I provide everything for myself, you know. Yes, love it. Dakini, the enlightened feminine. My gut instinct is wise beyond reason. I trust my intuition to guide me. I trust my intuition to guide me. Oh my gosh, okay. Yes. Rabia, the queen of saintly women. I am in service of divine love. I move the way love asks me to move. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yes. I am in service of love. I move the way love asks me to move. You know. Yeah. Invoking the love within. Following the path of love. Becoming love. Okay. Connecting with love. Connecting with the spirit of love. I feel like everything is a spirit. And that's just one perspective of, you know, looking at life. But like there's like the spirit of poverty, there's a spirit of like abundance, there's a spirit of love, you know. And it's all about strengthening your faith and relationship with the spirit of love, and you'll have love in the aspects of life that you want love in, you know. And all the love that you do have in your life, appreciate that. Like maybe you want romantic love, but appreciate all the familial love that you have, the friendship love that you have, you know, things like that. Okay. Yeah, we also have your Mirabai, the saint of true freedom. Love is what sets me free. I am married to my own soul. I love this. Love sets me free. I'm married to my own soul. This reminds me of the end of like Corpse Bride, where like, you know, like she like turns into like butterflies, and it's like, you know, she set herself free. It was her love for herself, and maybe even her love for love, even if it wasn't the love she wanted, that, you know, really set her free. And it was like so beautiful. If you haven't watched that movie, watch it. It's amazing. The cosmic egg, the divine feminine. I hold the universe within me. I am the force of an ever expanding love. Okay, I think that is the cover of the deck, or like it's similar. No, that's the back. That's the back of the deck. Yeah. I hold the universe within me. I am the force of an ever-expanding love. This also just reminds me of like expanding your consciousness, expanding your perception and things like that. Yeah. Also have here Sappho, the poetess. I love every inch of my body, and I love the women in my life fiercely. I love this. I feel like this divine feminine deck helps you connect with the, you know, feminine energies in your life. Queen Esther, the morning star. My ego is in service of my soul, and I trust my soul's divine timing. Again, like using the ego, like everything exists for your liberation. Everything exists to set you free. Even the ego, even the things that you think are bad. It's an illusion that things are bad. Everything is there to teach you, to help you ascend, to help you reach your goal, whatever that is. Everyone has different goals in life, right? So yeah, my ego, yeah, and I trust my soul's divine timing. You guys, the only divine timing that matters is your own inner divine timing. It's not some external thing that's dictated by external forces. As much as I love astrology, I'll never tell people like, oh, you're only going to manifest this love when this planet aligns with this planet at this degree on this day in this month. Like, no, you dictate that. Like, I love astrology, and I think it's a great tool to, like, you know, find out more about yourself. But at the end of the day, it's really you that dictates everything about you. Okay. Enhedwana. I'm one with my soul, and my soul is a legacy of love. Oh my gosh, what legacy are you leaving behind? Okay, legacy of love. Your soul is love. You are love. You are one with your soul. You are one with yourself. Beautiful. Kuan Yin, the goddess of compassion. I recognize suffering in order to release it. Curiosity breeds compassion. I recognize suffering in order to release it. I love this. Yeah, sometimes, like I said, like, you know, if you are in pain, if you got hurt, it's okay to recognize that, okay? But then eventually, like, you know, don't identify with it. Release it. Be like, okay, thank you so much for teaching me this, but I'm ready to let you go. I'm ready to release you. Especially if there's something that really triggers you. You have to kind of like tell it in like a sweet, quiet, soft way. Like, hey, thank you so much for teaching me this thing about myself. But, you know, like, thank you. But yeah, like, let's go our own ways. You know, maybe. Yeah, I'm ascending to my path and things like that. I remember, like, I think it was Gem Goddess, like, she talked about how, like, there was this, like, spirit within her. Like, she would always have this dream of this, like, you know, guy that was, like, trying to, like, you know, like, I don't know, he was just doing certain things. And yeah, she just said, like, yeah, you know, thank you so much, but yeah, thank you so much for your service. I really appreciate it, but you know, I have to go my own path and you yours. And like slowly that spirit went away, right? Even think of it like when people get their big break, when they get that, you know, first job, that first big paycheck, their business blows up, whatever. It's like, you know, maybe you had a certain spirit within you, the spirit of limiting beliefs, or the spirit of like, you know, a lower consciousness, or for some people the spirit of poverty. Like it's not always going to be with you. It's there to teach you something, right? So you can just tell it like, hey, like, you know, you can even talk to your triggers. See, you can talk to the cells in your body. You can talk to DNA in your body. You can change your DNA. And when I say cells, not just like, you know, the cells within, but even like your brain cells. That's honestly, like, I think one of like the most important like parts of your body that you can talk to. Like, tell your brain like, hey, like, brain cells, like, yeah, let's work on the you know, Hebbian plasticity, you know, it's called synaptogenesis, right, or synapses, to, you know, strengthen the neurons that have to do with the reality that we do want to experience. Let's strengthen the good neurons. Let's weaken the neural pathways that no longer serve us, you know. So yeah, everything is kind of just like a metaphor for everything. It's like yeah, and I feel like that's the way that I see life. For me, like, anytime I like see something from like a scripture, or even like just like sometimes it could be like words on a t-shirt or something, I'm like, how does this apply to, for me, like, I like learning about, you know, neuroplasticity. How does this like help me become smarter, wiser? How does this help me reach my goal of, you know, XYZ, right? Like, because I come from the mindset that everything that's happening is leading me to my desired reality. I no longer see things as like, oh, like circumstances that, you know, are debilitating me. No, like, even circumstances exist for you to transcend them. Everything is a bridge of incidents leading you to your dream goal. We also have here Catherine Laboure, the patroness of miraculous healing. I'm ready to heal. I'm worthy of miracles meant for me. I am worthy of miracles meant for me. This is amazing. I love this. Okay. Sarada Devi, the divine mother, unconditional love exists within me. The presence of love is the absence of judgment. Yes, no need to judge anything. Again, everything exists for your highest good, for your liberation, for love, for you achieving your goals. Yeshe Sogyal, the lady of the lotus born. Embodiment is the deepest bliss. My body was made for enlightenment. I love this. Also, just like lotus energy is great because, you know, lotuses, they grow in like dark, muddy environments. They kind of just emerge from the water. And they need like very little light. Like, that's the thing. Like, they're such beautiful flowers, but they come from like a very like dark place, you know. Like, again, like they grow in like marshes, like swamps and things like that. You know, the Buddha was like literally on a lotus. He reached enlightenment. Yeah. We also have here Miao Shan, the princess of mercy. Giving is receiving. The energy of the universe is merciful. Yeah, that's the thing. You know, there's abundance. There's enough abundance for everyone around us. I really wish people understood this more, because I feel like some people, they operate from like a scarcity mindset. They're, you know, that's why they need to have all these like wars and all these like, you know, negative things, because they're operating from scarcity mindset. And if they, you know, maybe allocated resources properly, because they realize like, hey, there are actually, there's an abundance of things to go around for us, you know, for everyone. Because the thing is, people want different things out of life. Believe it or not, like, as much as I may be like living well, luxury, all that, I have a bunch of friends who could care less about that. You know, some people, they literally just want to frolic in nature, travel all day. Like, not everyone wants to be rich. Not everyone wants to be a millionaire. Everyone has like different like things that they want to do in life, you know. So yeah, that's why, like, I know that abundance exists all around us. It's pervasive. Is that the right word? Yeah, but it's there's a really specific word. about like, you know, it's all around us. Maybe it'll come to me. Omnipresent, yeah, you know. So yeah, to give is to receive, you know, like, yeah, if you give, you're actually telling your mind, hey, I have enough abundance to give, and that will attract more abundance. Of course, like, you know, do that in like moderation, and like just do that as you will, you know, like obviously like don't give too much of your energy, like have boundaries. That's also important. But yeah, we also have your Pope Joan, the pontiff of possibilities. The possibilities are limitless because the soul is limitless. This is so true. The soul is limitless. You are infinite. You are capable of anything. Okay, sometimes, you know, some of us live in a reality where we're not taught that, oh, resources are limited, things are finite, blah blah blah, you know. That's an illusion, guys. We have enough within us to be abundant in every way possible. Yeah. Green Tara, the Buddha of enlightened action. Apparently she's really good for anger, like reducing anger. Yeah. My soul informs my every step. I do what my heart compels me to do. Yeah, I do what my heart compels me to do. I love this, you know, like all the answers are within. Your soul is the one that's leading you to these places. Yeah. Marguerite Porret, the mystic of divine love. Love is divine and I am nothing except love. I am nothing except love. I'm only love, okay? We also have here Freya, the goddess of discernment. Oh, I love this, discernment. I spend my time wisely. I only say yes when it's a holy hell yes, okay? I love this. I think this is so important, okay? Where are you directing your energy? Are you directing it towards, like, you know, things that no longer serve you, the past, the times where you were a victim, things that are making you sad? Okay, it's really important to spend your time like wisely. That's why, like, you know, some people will like when they fast from like social media or even like, you know, fasting from certain foods, like they have all this energy within them and sometimes they don't know what to do with the energy, so we fall back into like, you know, that pattern of like self-sabotage and things like that, right? But like it's really about discipline, harnessing the strength within and like strengthening your mindset, right? So yeah, practicing discernment is important. Isis, the goddess of magic. Sexual energy is sacred. My pleasure is a prayer that brings me back to life. Honestly, you guys, enough said. Everything that needed to be said is on this card here, okay? You literally like birth portals within you. Like I've been hearing like, you know, or seeing content about like, you know, women's wombs, and like we literally have like the power to birth like entire portals and things like that, and it's okay to like, you know, like the, yeah, I mean, any kind of pleasure, really, it's okay to partake in pleasure. You don't have to like just live like a monotonous life, okay? And yeah, this applies to any kind of pleasure. Joan of Arc, the warrior of light. I have a steel-like faith in myself that angels armor me with conviction, okay? Yes, like I have a steel-like faith in my abilities, and because I have that, the universe rewards me, you know? Lakshmi, ooh, okay, yes. Love her, the goddess of abundance. I have definitely prayed to her. My family's prayed to her, which, again, it's just like the abundance frequency within us. Okay, I choose to feel abundant. Wealth is an inside job. We also have your Mary Magdalene. Oh my gosh, I've been feeling extra connected to her. Okay, yes, of course, she's on the front of the deck. I actually got a whole deck in Spain. Or actually, I saw the deck in Spain, but then I ordered it back in the States. But like, it's all the way on the other side of my room. But I got the Mary Magdalene deck. Maybe I'll do a review of that deck as well. Yeah, Mary Magdalene and the apostle to the apostles. I am the bridge between heaven and earth. I'm fully human and fully divine. I love this. Bridge between heaven and earth. It's like, for some of you, you know, you may have one foot on the earthly material realm and another foot, you know, in like another realm, right? It's important to stay grounded. Like when you're receiving all these spiritual downloads and messages, it's important to like, you know, like practice, like, you know, harnessing like your root chakras, or like activating your you know, like lower chakras and things like that, just like overall staying grounded, however you do that, you know. It's like yeah, like there's messages, wisdom all around us. Like some people, they only live on the earthly realm. A lot of people that aren't necessarily spiritual, they kind of only like rely on logic and things like that, and that's their choice, you know, that's their way of doing things. No one's necessarily like right or wrong. Yeah, but I'm the bridge between heaven and earth. I'm fully human and fully divine. Yes, we all have everything within us. We all have like that God consciousness within us, and I feel like that is what like Mary Magdalene, like, you know, teaches. And I feel like even like I've been like I think it's called like Gnostic or something. I don't know, like it's like GNOSIS. I think that's what it's, yeah. But I mean, I've also been seeing a lot of videos on like, you know, TikTok and stuff about like invoking that Christ consciousness and how he was actually teaching us to like, you know, channel that God within, invoke the power of like that like consciousness within us. It's not necessarily about like praying to something external, right? Like that's actually like what we believe in Hinduism. It's not necessarily like anything external. It's just like invoking the energies within us by like, you know, being aware of those energies within us by praying to them, by saying certain mantras and things like that, right? So yeah, we also have your Saint Bridget, Our Lady of Exalted Light. I give endlessly because the light is without end. My soul is all I need. I love this so much, you know, service to others, service to community, service to society. You have everything you ever could within you. You're not losing anything by giving something. Even maybe for those of you that you feel like, you gave too much love, you gave too much energy, time, attention. Maybe you spent too much money on someone in the past that you felt like, maybe things weren't like reciprocated. Like they needed that at the time. There's nothing wrong in like doing something nice for someone, even if you're not like connected to them anymore. Yeah, Vajra Yogini, the essence of all Buddhas. I have the power to make each moment sacred. Everything is material for my liberation. I feel like I literally said that quote so many times during this reading. Everything is leading you towards like liberation, towards love. Yeah, Our Lady of Guadalupe, the Empress of Protection. I am safe and divinely protected. I am held in love at all times. I love that. I am protected. I'm held in love at all times. You deserve to like live your life freely, okay? You don't have to live in fear. Oh, like this is gonna happen, that's gonna happen. Like, ego-based things, right? You deserve everything in the best way possible, in the best form possible. You don't have to like make yourself smaller to like appeal or appease other people. Like you should live your life freely. You should be free to express yourself however you want. Okay. Ananda Mai Ma, the joy permeated mother. I am my own guru. I know the self that never changes. I am my own teacher. Okay. Yes, love this. Zhu Xuanjing, the mystic of peace. I am peace. When my mind is clear, the way is clear. Yes, I love this. Clearing your mind, meditation. Sekhmet, the red lady. I am pure strength. I honor my anger by giving voice to it. Oh my gosh, again, you are valid in feeling your anger and emotions. Don't let society tell you otherwise, okay? Diana, the queen of wilderness, the language of the natural world is a frequency of love. This is my mother tongue. I love this language of the natural world. I know I was talking a lot about that in like the beginning of the reading, like when I talked about like the indigenous people and their connection to nature. Sometimes spending time in nature will literally give you all these like deep insights within yourself. I also learned something about saw this post about harnessing the energetic like network of trees. Trees are like they're interconnected, so like when you like hug a tree, you express your emotions to it, it will help heal you. It will invoke like the healing of all the other trees, and it'll heal you, right? Because it's something about like symbiotic relationship. The trees emit oxygen, we emit carbon dioxide, so it's a good thing to like hug trees. Sarah Lakali, queen of the outsiders. I have arrived. I am where I will always be, in love. Oh my gosh, I love that. Oh, Lalita, the red goddess. Playfulness is a spiritual power. Laughter leads me back to the light. I love this. Sometimes being like silly, quirky, laughing about certain things, sometimes things just are not that deep. Sometimes it's okay to like, live, laugh, love, like, So, I feel like for some of you guys, if you kind of have like an inner monologue going on, like, it's good energy. Like you emit good energy when you do that. I feel like for some reason like people think of you as like a fun, like cute, like fairy-like type of energy. Like I'm just seeing that like I feel like this is a great way to like end the I don't even know what video this is. Deck review. I kind of also just channeled messages here, but have fun, live your best life. Okay, whatever you want will be there. It's within your reach. Sometimes, like, I'm not saying you have to be high vibrational to manifest, or you can manifest at any time, but don't hold back. Live your best life, okay? You are on this realm to enjoy what it has to offer you. So, anyways, I will end the video right here. I really hope this helps. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. I do want to let you know that I offer in-depth tarot readings as well as manifestation coaching and also custom subliminals. So if you're interested in any of these services, check out the description box below where you'll find my website, and you can sign up for those services through my website. And thank you so much. Love and light.